Now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Earlier this year, a game from Japan came to America under Pandasaurus and IDW called Machi Koro. And it's been very popular, especially around this Christmas time. And here is the expansion for that, Machi Koro, the Harbor expansion. So let's go over what this thing adds, how it changes the gameplay, what cards are added, things like that, and then I'll see you on the other side. The Harbor expansion, first of all, adds a 5th player. So it comes with some starting cards for the 5th player. It also comes with some extra coins that have a 20 on one side and a crown on the other, because you'll be making more money in this game because it goes a little bit longer. So there's new coins and enough to add a 5th player. Also, in addition to the 4 typical landmarks that you're trying to build from the base game, we add 2 more landmarks and a special card. So we add the airport, which is worth 30. We add the harbor, which is worth 2. And we add a city hall at the beginning that is always an ability. And now, instead of just getting 4, you have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to flip over, or actually these would have been unconstructed. This is after they're constructed. You have to actually construct all 6 of these to win the game and have it look just like this. Otherwise, as you know, before you get these done, they're under construction. But I like the artwork on this side better to show you. Let's take a look at what those cards do. Now the City Hall is sort of a freebie card. It's always up. You don't have to pay anything. It's always constructed. And immediately before buying establishments, if you have 0 coins, you get 1 from the bank. This essentially is a freebie. You're basically getting a coin if you're not able to do anything. The Harbor is only 2 coins, but it allows you to, if a dice is 10 or more, you can add 2 to it. Why would you do that? Well, we'll show you that later when we show you some of the new cards in the game. And the airport is 30, but if you build nothing, after you've constructed this, if you build nothing, you get 10 coins from the bank. So you can build up a cash engine really quick, but it does cost a lot of money to get there in the first place. Now the new cards that are entered into this, the establishments, there's 10 of them. 3 of them are the blue types, which means you get stuff when anybody rolls things. 3 more are the red ones, which are those take that ones. When other people roll stuff, you get to steal stuff from them. 2 of them are the green types, which allow you to pretty much get stuff only on your turn. And the other 2 are those major establishments, which are the very powerful cards in the game. Let's see what each of these do. Now, even though I just showed 1 of each of those cards, there's plenty of each of those that are added to the game. Those are just the unique ones that are there. So we have a tuna boat. On anyone's turn, the current player rolls 2 dice if you have a harbor. So if you have one of these, obviously this is the one that allowed you to add 2. Notice that this is 12 to 14. So if anybody that has a harbor and rolls anywhere between a 10 or a 10 or 11, they can add 2 to it to get it to the 12 to 14. And then what happens is that person rolls the dice again and they get that much money. But it costs 5. So it's a cool way to match the harbor construction up with the tuna boat. Usually when a couple people have the tuna boat together, they're kind of working together to get this thing activated. Flower orchard. Get 1 coin from anyone on anyone's turn. It's only $2. Then this makes up with this one, which is the flower shop, which is get 1 coin from the bank. Each flower orchard you own on your turn only, of course. So that's a new one right there as well. We have the mackerel boat. If you have a harbor, which again is this, which was 2 coins. It was one of the establishments that you flip over after you've bought it. You get 3 coins from the bank on anyone's turn. Here's some of the take that ones. The sushi bar. It's a cafe. If you have a harbor, once again, as it's the harbor expansion, it shouldn't surprise you that it links up to a lot of cards. You get 3 coins rolled from the player who rolled the dice. This one's really good. Hamburger stand and the pizza joint, both they're 7 and 8, and they both get 1 coin from the player who rolled. And then we have the food warehouse. Get 2 coins from the bank for each cafe, any of these red ones, establishments that you own on your turn only. And the publisher. So get 1 coin from each player for each cafe and the one that has the shop there, the bread icon, and that they have. So you can get a ton of money from the publisher. The tax office, take half rounded down of the coins from each player who has 10 or more coins. This one is really a pain in the butt. Now here's where the game really changes a ton, even from having the new cards, is that when you set up the game, in the base game you set up all 15 establishments. In this game, you shuffle all the expansion and the regular cards together so they're not in order, and then you draw until you have 10 unique things. So we have a cafe, we have a tuna boat, we have a food warehouse, We have a TV station. We have a tuna boat. When another one comes up, it goes right on it. So you never know how many cards of each are going to be out there. We have a fruit and vegetable market, like that. Now we've got 5 there. Tuna boat. Oh, look at that. There's 3 tuna boats up there. There's 1 of everything else so far. Convenience store. That's unique, so it comes down here. Fruit and vegetable market. Well, now there's 2 of those. We have a convenience store. Oh, now we have 2 of those. We have a ranch, so it's a unique one, so it goes by itself. We have an apple orchard, so it goes by itself. We have a business center, so it goes by itself. And we have a pizza joint, and that's it. So that's how the game is started, is you have 10 unique ones. So every time you play this game, it's going to be completely different. You can never just go after the original, those strategies that you like from the base game. Now, as the game goes on, someone buys a tuna boat, well, there's 2 left. Someone buys another one, there's 1 left. Someone buys another one. Anytime a space gets opened, we flip. And if it's a unique one, it goes there. But hey, someone might buy the only pizza joint. And now this comes out. It's a mine. Someone might buy the only ranch. It's a tuna boat. Oh, tuna boats are up again. Someone buys the only cafe. It's the apple orchard. Oh, but look, now the apple orchard would go there. And a new card. Oh, another apple orchard. And then a new card. A mine. Oop, there's a mine. So sometimes a bunch of cards can come out. And now we have a cheese factory. And that's how this game changes a ton with this expansion, is the randomized of the cards that come out. And just like in the base game, you can do these in any order to construct your major your landmarks there. And the first one to construct their 6th one is the winner. All right, there's the harbor expansion. So let's talk about the different things. Adding a 5th player. Well, I can't say I've ever needed to add a 5th player, but if you have a 5-player group, it's going to make the game a little longer. But if you really want to get that 5th player and you really want to play this, hey, I guess it's all right. The new landmark. So you got the harbor, which I think is really cool because it only costs 2 coins and it does so many things to other cards. The airport is actually always very cool too, because man, you gotta spend 30 coins to get it, but when you do and you don't build anything, you make 10 coins each time. So if you can get to that thing about mid-game and then start using those to get a bunch of money, that's a good strategy too. So I do like that. And I really, the biggest thing for me, sure, the new cards are cool and interacting them with the harbor is cool. But for me, the real big thing is, in addition to those cards, is doing the randomized starting and the randomized putting cards out. Instead of just having 15 of the same buildings out there of all the cards at the beginning of the game, you're having 10 unique ones, and it's always going to be different. However many cards, however many unique cards, it's always different. And when one gets emptied, something new happens. It could be another card for something there or something new. You could be waiting for something to come. And in the last game we played, man, everyone was trying to get those mines. And when the mine came up, man, they got swooped up right away. And then people started using those purple buildings to steal them from people. It was crazy. But I think the randomized of this really makes it good. I did try this randomized setup with just the base game back when I got the base game, and it's better than the base game, but there's still not enough variability to still thwart off the problems that I had with the original game, which I still like it. But the base game, it's like you could go after the same strategy every time. You could go for the ranch and the cheese market, cheese factory, or you could go the furniture building and the you could match up something that you like to do and just do it every time. Where this makes you're unable to do that. So I really love it. It really does change the game a ton. But having the extra cards in addition to doing that is really what makes the difference huge. So I really love this aspect of it. Now the downside to that is that you can have games that run on pretty long. Actually, our last game that we played with this with just 3 people went over 60 minutes. I think it was like 68 minutes or something like that. And we weren't like stopping and talking and chatting, like we were playing. And we were playing pretty normal speed without any AP. And the reason why it took so long is because of that randomized setup, you can't have games that just set up oddly. Like at the beginning of this game, we had a lot of those red cafe cards out and a lot of the purple cards out. And so it just took a while. We were just stealing from each other and messing with each other for a while until those got emptied out and more cards started to trickle in. And then even those cards weren't like great for starting to build engines. They were more like cards that are better after you've built an engine. So it just took like almost like 3/4 of the game to get the engine going. And then once it went, boom, it ended quickly. And so I love it. I love the aspect of doing this randomized startup, and I think it does fix the issues that some people have with the base game. But at the same time, just be forewarned that it's probably going to take longer, and sometimes it can take over an hour to play this game. And that's only with 3 players with us. Plus, you have to get 6 of the 4, instead of just 4 of those landmarks to finish the game. So I guess you could randomize that a little bit. Maybe if you want to just play with 4, maybe do that, shuffle up and just do the same 4 for everybody. Maybe that would shorten it. But if you got to get all 6, and the engine building cards don't really come out the way that puts you down a certain route, and you may be waiting for cards for a little bit to build on that, it may take a little longer than you've anticipated for a quick game that's supposed to be short. So I really like it. I still like it better than the base game, but just be warned, it can take a little longer. It does add a ton, and it does change the gameplay. It almost feels like a different game. It's like the same game, but it's completely different. So if you like Machi Koro, but you didn't like the part of that strategy of everyone can do the same thing, this is definitely something you're going to need to pick up. That's the Harbor expansion.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.